my other video a while back. It was on my Mac Tools roll around, and I was pretty unhappy with it for a roll around cart because it was just too big and heavy, and it was just too hard to maneuver around the shop. So I got this Blue Point cart to replace it, and this is about 250 bucks on Snap-on Truck. I got this one on Craigslist for 80, which I think is a pretty half price essentially. There's really not a whole lot to say about it. Mainly I just want to kind of go over like how much it actually holds, and really for a service cart it holds way more than you actually need it to hold. So all the things that you use on a daily basis, every day, all day long, are going to be your sockets, obviously. So all the 3/8, all the quarter, all the 1/2 inch that you could possibly ever want and or need in hex sockets, it holds with no problem. You're going to use your impacts and ratchets and little extensions and things like that. So we got all this space, and really this one has a drawer, but you really wouldn't even necessarily need that. That does add a little bit extra, but I wouldn't say it's crucial, you know, for a service cart. It's just it's handy. So you know, you can put your magnetic trays with your swivels and things like that on the top, you know, your tire gauge, a good magnetic light. You know, these are all the things they're going to use every day, and this has plenty of space for all that. On the bottom, you know, I don't even have it filled up because there's just not that many things that I need to roll around to every single car that I work on. You know, a good funnel, solvent sprayer, some gloves, a bungee. I mean, this is just a few things that you might need on a daily basis, and I still got tons of room left on the bottom to throw whatever I want to. You know, extra parts and bolts and things like that. However you do it. As far as the drawer goes, you know, this is a good place for the pliers that you use all the time, and maybe a good hammer that you like to use, whatever. And you can still see there's plenty of room to put more stuff in here if you really wanted to, but you really don't need to. You know, you don't need a huge cart, which is what I discovered when I got the huge Mac Tools cart, is that it's just too much to roll around. You know, and you really don't need a cart that big unless your toolbox is too small, in my opinion. So with all this stuff in here, it's still super easy to roll around, to spin around, to do whatever I want to with it. You know, I don't have to worry about it hitting cars and, you know, being too hard to move. It rolls just fine. The guy that I bought it from said he pulled the transmission and put it on the top, and it still rolled just like this. So maybe that's true, maybe it's not, but you know, I believe it. It holds. I think it holds up to, like, so it says, around 350 to 400 pounds. The drawers that I've seen on the cheaper service carts, they don't roll this easily. Like, this one's got a good amount of weight, and you can see that it still rolls and opens just fine. So got a lock on it if you care about that. Keep all your unmentionables in there. Lock them up. Really, that's about it. You know, you don't really need a whole lot. This is just what you're going to be using on most every car that you work on. So you don't need a whole lot of space. I think this more than covers what you're going to need. And I'm happy with the purchase. Check out the other video on the Mac Tools cart as to why I decided to swap to this one instead. Overall, yeah, I'd say if you get one used, it's definitely worth the money.